I recently checked out Space Dandy, and it's one of those shows that is catered for a specific type of audience. Like, if you have more than two working brain cells, you will not jive with this show. And thankfully, I have only two working brain cells, so I love this show. This show was dumb. Space Dandy was dumb, and it's all because of one man, Dandy. So, Space Dandy follows the titular character Space Dandy on his adventures throughout space on his spaceship, the Aloha Oi, and with his space crew, which all of them are incompetent, including Dandy, but Dandy is the main guy we're going to focus on. And he is actually a sort of space bounty hunter who catches like rare aliens for money. And that's how he makes his bread. He also is incompetent, so he doesn't make any bread and is broke throughout the entire show. Combined with being broke, he is constantly running from his ops, and his ops just happens to be like a massive fleet of spaceships just chasing him at every given moment. And for some reason, Lady Liberty is just catching strays in this show. She's just gagged and on the front of a giant spaceship, and no one addresses it. No one mentions like, yo, why is the Statue of Liberty gagged on the front of a spaceship? Like, the writers of the show are unhinged. They don't explain anything, and I mess with it. You know, I like it. It's it's crazy. Dandy is stupid, unlike any other character. Like, we're introduced with him, and he's just rambling about how much cheeks deserve more love than boobs, man, and it's kind of cringe.
That's why I say enough with this mass boob hysteria. It's time to set things right. It's time to give the ass the respect it deserves.
It's cringe, but that happened back in 2014, back when women wanted to look like this. So he was low-key a prophet, prophesizing, and looking at it in that light, even though he's rambling about nonsense, it's kind of cool, you know. It's kind of cool, and that leads into the other thing. This guy has this weird, over-the-top 70s Elvis swag, and it's really over the top, and it works for some reason. I dropped on my head as a kid a lot, so my opinion probably isn't that good, but I find it weirdly cool. Does he just had this unique swag, and it works for some reason. Dandy is a rambling madman for a lot of the show. He's incoherent, but every now and then he gives you like some nuggets of wisdom that really makes you think and think like, yeah, this guy is kind of deep, you know?
Living organisms.
And boobies.
Well, there seems to be oxygen here.
I don't care about oxygen. I need boobies, nothing more.
One of Dandy's defining character traits is his blind confidence. Like, he just oozes confidence like a man that's clapping cheeks, you know, like a man that's seasoned, like a seasoned vet. And he was in a pickle, and he decides to like rizz up the baddest girl in the show. And bro has like this Elvis rizz, and it was working. Like, he pulling out all the moves and stuff, and he chatting her up, and it's not working, but it's also working because it's Dandy, and he don't care. So it's kind of working. And then bro drops the hardest line I've ever heard,
Can you spot me some cash?
and fumbles the bag, completely fumbles. I have never recovered since, and because she was feeling bro, like she man. One thing about Danny that's kind of cool is his fashion sense. It's really unusual especially for anime, because he's rocking the good old varsity jacket with like the dandy star at the front and like the dandy at the back, and he got like the space cowboy boots with like the metal bottoms that if you get kicked out of that, you die for sure. And he pulls it off with like he pulls off the look. He got like the 70s pompadour thing where like the hair. Dandy has literally the worst aim. Like, he can't shoot to save anybody's life. Like, it is worse than you think. Like, you know, like stormtroopers, you see like videos of stormtroopers like shooting, like that is Dandy. Like people are always like, whoa, he got a Glock, let's back up. And he's like, yeah, I got a Glock, you better back up. And he almost shoots his toe off, and then they jump him. And I laugh every time. And that says a lot about me than it is about the show and the humor, because it's the same joke, and I laugh every time because I'm also equally as dumb. Dandy's he's also a man of culture because he spends a lot of his time at a sort of space Hooters. Like the waitresses just wear the most revealing stuff, showing boobs and cheeks the whole time, and he spends majority of his time there, which is bad. Like Dandy has like the makings of a real loser, like a real loser character, but there's times where he doesn't see, like he seems too cool to be a loser, you know. So it's weird. Like he walks this thin line of being like him, but also very not him, and it's kind of sick. It's kind of sick, like really unpredictable, you know. Yeah, this show is unserious to the point where at the end of the first episode, Dandy is in a pickle after he fights like aliens and stuff. He he's in a pickle, and he decides to drop the fattest nuke on himself and his crew and kill everyone. And it is the worst decision I've ever seen made, and he makes it without even second guessing it. He's like, yo, I'm gonna drop this nuke, I'm gonna kill myself and all my homies, I don't care. And he does it. And that's it. The very first episode, he drops a nuke on himself. I've never seen anything as dumb as that in my life. And that really sets the tone for the rest of the series. When I think of like shows that try to set the tone, I think of like Game of Thrones, where like the first few episodes were filled with a bunch of like weird incest stuff, and it really threw me off as to what to expect. But with Space Dandy, they let you know right out the gate that this show is gonna be unserious and dumb. That Dandy's is like borderline a dunce, you know, and it's kind of refreshing to have a show like that to like head back to every now and then. Yeah, like and sub. That's the end of the time lapse. Peace.